Okay, just a little bit more and we'll be finished with marriage. We want to talk about the economic aspect of marriage, and this really does help to form links between families. One of the kind of practices, I guess is one way to put it, that anthropologists have identified that's economic in nature is a practice called bride wealth, or sometimes it's referred to as bride price. And this is where goods are transferred from the groom's family to the bride's family. And we believe that practices specifically compensation for losing productive or reproductive services of the bride. Then we have bride price, which is a service performed by the groom for the family of the bride. And this is very common among food collectors or foragers, so you can imagine that it's probably, gathering a particular type of food or going on a hunt, something of that nature. Then dowry, most of you have probably heard of, and this is payment from the bride's family to the groom's. And this is to compensate for taking on the care and responsibility for this woman for the rest of her life. And this is most common in pastoral or agricultural societies, particularly where the market exchange is prevalent. So it's kind of like an advance of a woman's inheritance. We have this thing called hypergamy, and this is where a lower status wife marries up. So the kids will then have the higher status. And basically what's happening then is the dowry is buying this higher status. And we actually know that pre-contact Hawaiians practice this. And then the last one is women exchange. And this is where no gifts are actually exchanged by the families, but each gives a bride to the other family. So they might lose a daughter, but they're gaining a daughter-in-law. So the Mbuti are a good example. They are peoples that live in Africa. The last thing I want to say about marriage, again, this one is really, really quick. Do all groups marry? No. Marriage is not a natural state. Intercourse and reproduction is natural. Marriage is cultural. Not all groups marry. The Nayar of India do not marry. Women have series of relationships with men, and the brothers act as the father to her children. And this is even if they are acknowledged by the biological father. And you've read about the Na. So it's not quite a universal, but pretty darn close to it. And that's it for marriage. The next lecture will be on family.